Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد, we may observe the universe. If we look at the universe and the stars and the planets and everything, we can see the majesty of Allah. Allah may also be observed in the believer's approach to orphans, to the orphans. The noblest of attributes that must be shown to orphans who need the care and interest of others because they have lost their parent. This is made explicit in the Quran. This here action is made explicit in the Quran. One of the exemplary attitudes believers particularly adopt is to do good to orphans and never to treat them harshly. But we find that many of us don't do anything for the orphans. We talk about doing things, we talk about the sunnah, we talk about trying to be better Muslims and stronger Muslims, but we don't even follow what Allah says. We tell each other, brothers tell sisters and sisters tell brothers, oh, I'm a good Muslim, I'm a strong Muslim. But how many times have you taken the time or made the effort to help assist the orphans and the poor? In societies in which the values of the Quran are not observed, no system has been devised to protect the rights of orphans or to secure their future. Protection such as it is depends upon the conscience of the people. For this reason, some ill-intentioned individuals may try to benefit from the lack of experience and ignorance of these children. Indeed, having no one to protect their rights, orphans can readily become subject to abusive treatment at the hands of those who have taken it upon themselves to care for them. Such people may expect orphans to feel gratitude because they have taken them under their wing, or they may reproachfully remind them of the kindness they have done for them. On the other hand, subjecting them to a different kind of treatment, they may oppress these children in both the physical and the spiritual sense. Nevertheless, Allah prohibits subjecting orphans to harsh treatment and condemns those who mistreat them. Proof from Quran, Surah Ma'un, ayats 1 through 7. Have you seen him who denies the religion? He is the one who harshly rebuffs the orphan and does not urge the feeding of the poor. So woe to those who do prayer and are forgetful of their prayer, those who show off and deny help to others. This is Allah speaking. Those who show off and deny help to others. We have to be mindful of these here things. Allah may also be observed. Contrary to such offensive treatment, Quranic morality demands tolerance and compassionate treatment. Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد, we may observe the universe. If we look at the universe and the stars and the planets and everything, we can see the majesty of Allah. Allah may also be observed in the believer's approach to the orphans. The noblest of attributes that must be shown to orphans who need the care and interest of others because they have lost their parent. This is made explicit in the Quran. This here action is made explicit in the Quran. One of the exemplary attitudes believers particularly adopt is to do good to orphans and never to treat them harshly. But we find that many of us don't do anything for the orphans. We talk about doing things, we talk about the sunnah, we talk about trying to be better Muslims and stronger Muslims, but we don't even follow what Allah says. We tell each other, brothers tell sisters and sisters tell brothers, oh, I'm a good Muslim, I'm a strong Muslim. But how many times have you taken the time or made the effort to help, assist the orphans and the poor? In societies in which the values of the Quran are not observed, no system has been devised to protect the rights of orphans or to secure their future. Protection such as it is depends upon the conscience of the people. For this reason, some ill-intentioned individuals may try to benefit from the lack of experience and ignorance of these children. Indeed, having no one to protect their rights, orphans can readily become subject to abusive treatment at the hands of those who have taken it upon themselves to care for them. Such people may expect orphans to feel gratitude because they have taken them under their wing, or they may reproachfully remind them of the kindness they have done for them. On the other hand, subjecting them to a different kind of treatment, they may oppress these children in both the physical and the spiritual sense. Nevertheless, Allah prohibits subjecting orphans to harsh treatment and condemns those who mistreat them. Proof from Quran, Surah Ma'un, ayats 1 through 7. Have you seen him who denies the religion? He is the one who harshly rebuffs the orphan and does not urge the feeding of the poor. So woe to those who do prayer and are forgetful of their prayer, those who show off and deny help to others. This is Allah speaking. Those who show off and deny help to others. We have to be mindful of these here things. Allah may also be observed. Contrary to such offensive treatment, Quranic morality demands tolerance and compassionate treatment of orphans as expressed in the verse, be good to orphans and the very poor, and speak good words to people. Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat 83. Believers meticulously observe this command. Their conscious and understanding of humanity entails the protection of the orphans who need help and care, and the meeting of all their spiritual and material needs. Believers never oppress orphans, expect them to appreciate their kindness, or strive to obtain any material or spiritual benefits from them. On the contrary, they protect their rights and adopt the best possible attitude. Their strong sense of what is right, their profound fear of Allah, and their compassion account for this meticulousness, improving the situation in life of orphans and bringing them up as decent individuals. Proof from Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 220. They will ask you about the property of orphans. Say managing it their best interest is best. Managing it in their best interest is best. If you mix your property with theirs, they are your brothers. As is implied in the above verse, Allah advises believers to bring orphans up as decent individuals. Believers show keenness to take this responsibility upon themselves and do their best to educate them in the best way. Many of us, we will sit up and abuse our power over the orphans. We will use them, we will make them have fear of us, we will misguide them, and all of these things. Those who do indulge or engage in trying to say that they're helping the orphans. But if we look around at the Muslims who claim to be helping the orphans, you find that many of them are just using them to build their own pockets up, to build themselves up and take advantage of the orphans. I know of one organization. It's an orphanage organization, and it's ran by Muslims, and they have lots of places over in Africa, in Ghana, and they're funded with millions of dollars by the Arabs. And I went to visit this here place, several of their orphanages, and they were empty. They were empty because the staff was on vacation. The staff takes vacation at least 3 times a year, and each vacation is a month or more. So the children are actually they're put out. They're told to get out and go on their own and be taken care of by their own people. And the villagers have to collect these here children and care for them, clothe them, feed them, everything, give them medical attention and all these things. And then the few months that they come back to stay in these here orphanages, they're not given that much. Out of every $20, they get maybe about $1.50 a month. And this is ridiculous. Out of the millions and millions of dollars that these here Arabs are donating and the millions that these Arabs are getting, they do not take care of the orphans over there in Africa. It's all a sham. And we, as Muslims trying to be true believers, we need to do more than just talk. We need to do more than just put on a front where we're really doing something for the orphans. We were sending, Muslim Incorporated was sending barrels of food over there every month. Now we can't because money is so low that we can't do anything. And the Arabs who have all the money, they're not giving nothing. The only thing that they're doing is running around partying with prostitutes around the world and helping the Kufa go against Muslims and all these here things. And we need to start pooling together in order to take care of these here orphans, because the Christians are going over there and waving food in front of the Muslim orphans' face and saying, come on, you can have this here food. All you have to do is just come to church and praise Jesus. And this is how we are losing a lot of our Muslim children, because the Christians are getting up here bribing them to become Christians. Muslim Orphans, Inc., where we had to close our doors to send in barrels because of the lack of support we are getting from other Muslims or anybody. We don't follow and give in to the Kufa and do what they want, so they don't give us no money. We don't want their money. And we surely aren't getting nothing from the Muslims. But the Muslims is too busy trying to look pretty, trying to run around and impress the Kufa, that they're not giving up anything either. You have brothers talking about, oh, I'm a strong Muslim, I'm this Muslim, I'm a that Muslim, and only to try to get up here to get in the sister's pants. And this is pathetic. We're destroying our ummah from within, like the Rasulullah said would happen. He said that this ummah, the Muslim, entire Muslim world, will not be destroyed by the Kufa, it'll be destroyed from within by the Muslims themselves. And this is what we're doing. We're destroying it from within because we don't follow what Allah tells us to follow. Allah tells us to feed and care for the orphans, and we're not doing it. The orphans don't have people to protect them. They don't know any better, and we're not doing our job to do what we're supposed to do. MashaAllah. Salamu Muslimin and Muslim Access Movement in Ghana have joined together in order to try to achieve some type of program which is going to help these here orphans to build the orphanage. We have the land already. It was already donated by the poor African villages. They donated land to us in order for us to build orphanages and schools and clinics and etc. And we're not able to do it because the Muslims don't want to give to help other Muslims. And we need to stop that. Even if you give $1, if everybody in the country gave $1, do you realize how much we could do with that $1? People will run, and Muslims will run and give $10 to the Kufa movement. They put out these things, all the Christians, people put out all this here stuff about poor African children and stuff like this here, and they be taking pictures of Muslims. But they act like these here children are Christians and in need of their help, and they don't give them nothing. I've been to them, their Christian orphanages over there too, and they're not helping them. They're just putting all that money in their own pocket. We know that these preachers are about making a buck, and they do it in the churches here, and then they get up here and they tell us, the people in the churches, oh, give your money to help the African orphans, and we're going to go over there and feed them a meal. It only going to cost you 34 cents to feed one African or one family or something to that effect.